Today on Sports Central, we go over 5 reasons why the Clemson Tigers are going to win the national championship in the 2021 through 22 season, and why Clemson's once again going to be the national title team next year. And Clemson obviously has been a national contender for many years in the past, especially over the past decade. This has been a nationally relevant team. Over the past couple of years, this team has just not been able to win the title, but Clemson, I definitely think, has got a ton of potential to do that next season, and why that is what we're going over here today. We're going to be going over 5 reasons here today. These reasons will be in no particular order, and that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with your number 1 reason, which is going to be the defensive depth on Clemson. And really, I mean, if you look at Clemson over the past few years, the thing that they've been known for is their offenses. I mean, the offense part on Clemson has just been outstanding over the past few years, but the defense is going to be something to watch out for next season. I mean, this defensive side is returning just about everyone, which, I mean, if you look at any nationally relevant team from one year to another, usually they just lose a ton of their talent on both sides of the ball. But the defensive side on Clemson, this team was a great team last season. But the defense especially is returning just about everyone for Clemson. This team is going to be for real next year on the defensive side. Like, usually it's the offense you got to watch out for with Clemson. The defense especially is what you're going to have to watch out for next season. I mean, they should easily have a top 3 defense next year. I'd be very surprised if they were outside of the top 3 on the defensive production next season. Like, I can see this team being top 2, maybe even the best defense in the nation. I mean, they're returning just about everyone. And really, I mean, if you look at Clemson last season, the main reason why this team was just not able to win the title was because, I mean, their defense would just let so many big plays happen. And that was the main reason why this team just did not have, once again, the national title success, was because, I mean, they got to prevent the big plays. Like, the big plays is really what killed them in the secondary last season. But, I mean, once again, with the returning production that this team has and the experience that the defense is going to have next season, I mean, that should not be as much of a problem next year. And especially if they can just, once again, prevent the big plays from happening, that will be huge going into next season. Myles Murphy, KJ Henry are both going to be huge names to watch out for on this defensive side. Number 2 reason is going to be DJ Uiagalelei, your quarterback for next year. He is going to be taking over after Trevor Lawrence, which obviously there are some big shoes to fill. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was outstanding as a Clemson quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in college. And Uiagalelei here, I mean, if you look at him last season, I mean, he definitely looks to be the next star quarterback for the Tigers. He did play a couple of games last year. He played during Notre Dame game, and I also think the Boston College game, if I'm correct. And he was very promising. I will say, I mean, even though he took a loss to Notre Dame, he still was very promising. And when he played, I mean, he put up 914 yards in just a couple of games, 5 touchdowns, 66.7% completion rate as well. He played very well when he was playing at quarterback for Clemson, and he's got a ton of potential going into next year. Watch out for him going into next season, especially. Started last season once again during Trevor Lawrence's absence with COVID, so he did get a shot at playing a couple of big games. And he played pretty well. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, the offense wasn't completely healthy for a good chunk of last season. But when DJ Uiagalelei played, I mean, he did show a lot of potential last season. Watch out for him. Number 3 is going to be the experience on both sides of the ball for Clemson. This team has had major success over the past decade. I mean, we all know that. But plenty of experienced players will be back for 2021. Once again, we just talked about the defensive side and how the defense is returning just about everyone. That's going to be huge going to next season. This team is going to have some great leadership. That's going to be also huge. I mean, leadership part is always a big factor in making a great team. And this team won national championships in 2016 and 2018. So Clemson knows how to win national championships. They've won 2 over the past 5 years pretty much. And they've also been in 4 national championships since 2015. So this team has got a ton of experience with the college football playoff and being a national title team or a contender in general. So yeah, the experience is going to be huge for Clemson moving forward. And especially next season, that's going to be huge. They don't have much of an experienced quarterback yet, but DJ Uiagalelei, once again, has shown a lot of great potential. Number 4 is going to be the recruiting for Clemson. This is a big part of this team next season. They've currently got the 5th ranked recruiting class in the nation for the 2021 season, which, I mean, you'll say, oh, Clemson needs to have the top ranked recruiting class if they want to be the national title team. Well, I mean, a 5th ranked class in the ACC, that is actually very good. That is excellent for a Clemson team, and this is, I mean, we've seen all sorts of players come out of nowhere in Clemson, so having a 5th ranked recruiting class is going to be huge for this team going into next season. That just adds to the potential that you've already got. They got the top ranked recruiting class in the ACC as well, so I mean, that's not much of a surprise obviously, but that's going to be huge for next season as well. Their average recruit rating is 0.94, which, if you guys don't know, That's out of a 1.0 scale. That is an excellent rating there. 0.94. That is huge going into next season. Watch out for offensive tackle Tristan Lay. He is going to be a huge impact on this team. He's got a rating of 0.992, which that is almost as high as you can get. So he's going to be a huge impact player for Clemson. Same thing with Barrett Carter. He's a linebacker. Both of those players definitely marked down on your list because both of them are going to be big impact players going into next season for this team, especially if they can be starters. They got 3 5-star recruits coming in as well. So I mean, having 3 5-star recruits, that's going to be huge as well for this team. So there's a lot to watch out for with the recruiting for this team. But looking at number 5 reason, it's going to be Dabo Swinney, head coach. He has had consistent success with Clemson as head coach. I mean, we can't forget about him. He's been a huge part of the success for Clemson. He's won 2 national championships once again, 2016, 2018, and he's won 6 straight ACC championships. 6 straight. That is 6 straight conference championships out of Dabo Swinney. He's going to continue to bring a lot of success to Clemson, and I really don't see the success ending anytime soon for Clemson, and Dabo Swinney is a huge part of the success of this team. He brings a lot of experience to this team, obviously. I mean, he's still a pretty young head coach, but he's brought a lot of experience and a lot of great success to Clemson as a whole. Anyway, that being said, that wraps up my 5 reasons why Clemson is going to win the national championship next season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on Clemson. Will this team win the national title? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you guys all watching, though. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I'll see you guys all later.